Hey everyone, it's Kim Forrester here with another little bite-sized thrive. So in this little mini series of bite-sized thrives, we're looking at ways that we can deal with family conflict over the holiday season. Many of you will have situations that you're about to step into where it's not all going to be harmony and agreement and unity, and there is likely to be someone in your environment who does not see the world the way you do, and they might want to argue their point with you. Do we want that over the holidays? No, we really don't, because it just makes things really awkward and unpleasant for yourself, for everyone. So tip number 2 today on how to deal with family conflict and disagreement over the holidays. I call this the 5% principle. Now, in my previous video, I explained that all out conflict is not ever going to change someone's mind. Studies have shown that, right? It just makes them dig their heels and even further into their own perspective. So the only way that we can really get someone to open up to a viewpoint that differs from their own is to get on side with them, is to stand next to them and look at the world the way they see the world and then go, oh, okay, I see how you see the world, but have you considered this way, right? It's a much more subtle, much more difficult way of changing someone's mind. The 5% principle is something that I actually use every day in my daily life. There are people in my world, not necessarily in my environment, but definitely in my world, that I think are just the absolute total opposite from me. They don't see the world the way I do. They don't value the things I value. I think they are wrong in the way that they're going about their lives. Even those people there, though, I apply the 5% principle to. And what this means is that it does not matter how wrong I think someone is. It does not matter how misguided I think their viewpoint is. I always allow for 5% of what someone says or believes or expresses to be something of value to me. And that means that I don't fully demonize anyone. I don't fully demonize any viewpoint, any outlook, any perspective. I might do it 95%, but there's 5% of what anyone ever says to me that I feel can be of value or is more aligned with the truth in the way that I see the world. Now, what does this do? Well, it doesn't mean that you have to go about, if someone's disagreeing with you, you don't sort of have to go, oh, they've said 100 things and so I'm going to see if I can agree with 5 of them. The point of the 5% principle is that it opens your mind to those little smidgens of value or truth or nuggets of information or perspective that actually can help you evolve your viewpoint. They are truly, really valuable. And knowing that someone is not ever 100% wrong, knowing that they've got that at least 5%, that means that you're staying open to it. And you can begrudgingly, if someone says something and you totally disagree with the way they live their life and the way they see the world, but they say something and you're open to it just a little bit with that 5% principle, and you can go, oh, I really don't like anything else you had to say, but that there, you've got a point there. That makes sense. Hadn't considered that. Okay, and it gives you sort of an opening to accept truths from people that you would otherwise totally disagree with. What does that also mean? It means that in a disagreement, in a conflict, you are opening yourself up to that little smidgen of agreement. So, because in the last video I said aim to be the most reasonable, when you apply the 5% principle, they're saying things you don't agree with, oh, that point there was really interesting. And you can express it. You can say, do you know what? I totally understand what you mean by that particular thing, that particular statement there. I can see what you mean there. All of a sudden, you've opened up a dialogue. You have validated something that they believe to be true. Even if you don't believe anything else, there'll be something in there that is of value to you. And in that opening of agreement and dialogue, that's when you can build the trust, and that's when you can start building the bridges towards a more conducive outcome to the disagreement or the argument. So there it is, the 5% principle. What does it mean? It means it does not matter how much you disagree with someone or the way they view the world or the way they go about living their life. At least 5% of what anyone says, of what anyone believes, will be of value to you. just keep your mind open. And if you hear those little smidgens of valuable truth from someone that you totally would otherwise disagree with, just go, okay, whew, all right, that's your 5%. I will give you that, because I know that you are not 100% evil or wrong or, completely misled. There's 5% at least of what you say that will be of value to me. So, as I say, I use this daily, and it really is quite a powerful tool for staying open to building bridges between yourself and others, particularly when there is a disagreement, or particularly when the way they see the world is really grating on you. There it is. Tip number 2, 5% principle. Apply it as often as you can, especially if there is family conflict, disagreement around you, and just see how it helps sort of calm those stormy waters a little bit. Just having the courage and the awareness to offer a little sense of agreement when there is a conflict or an argument going on. I'll be back soon with tip number 3 on how to survive the holidays if you're stepping into a situation where there's going to be family conflict. See you next time. Bye.